Good evening, everybody. Well, it's Friday night. It's another warm one. Jimmy is back. This is round 2 of my British Touring Car Championship. What a week we had last week. The inaugural round. My word, we were treated to some absolutely fantastic driving. Couldn't keep my eyes everywhere on the track, which is why I have my trusty good friend with me. You all know and love him, Mr. Adam Bath. Please join me in the commentary box.
I'm here.
Good man.
Lock the door behind me so you can't get out.
Oh dear. Right, well, I'm in for it. So yeah, what a race we had last week, Adam.
Yeah, like you said, I couldn't keep our eyes in all the same place, could we? Because it was so much going on up and down the field. But yeah, the man that you're seeing at the front there, Clayjax, what a performance he put in. Won both races, but that feature race was just something else, timed to perfection with his strategy, and we didn't know which way it was going to go. So it bodes well for tonight, doesn't it?
It does, yeah, and like Adam said there, we hadn't a clue which way it was going to go, because he was approaching halfway around the last lap with his fuel light flashing. He was good on tyres, but his fuel was on fumes, and he was having to defend from a fast charging Legion in the Nissan Primera, and he managed to, God only knows how he did it. He held Legion off, and Legion congratulated him at the end of the race, true sportsmanship fashion, saying he couldn't do a thing about it. And we found out after the race that he run out of fuel coming across the starting grid. So,
but he also got the fastest lap on that last lap as well, somehow, even running out of fuel. So
that's yeah,
it was quite an impressive start to the championship for Clayjax.
Well, he's not a championship winner for nothing, so just goes to show what they're capable of. Right, well, I'll come out of this now, and we'll just quickly jump on Scapes for a second. We've got 15 watching already. That's incredible. But thank you everyone for joining me on this warm Friday evening. But I'm hoping to. Well, I won't be producing the entertainment. Might they be with the commentary, but the entertainment will be coming from these guys, who they never cease to amaze me. How the one guy knocks in a quick time, and then you think, wow, that is a quick time. Next minute, gets beaten by, it might not be by a lot, but then we had, was it last week, Adam, in the qualifying for the sprint, we had the top
I think 11, it was the top 11, yeah, 11 or 12 was
separated by
within
a
the same second. Yeah, it was quite tight. I mean, it's a short circuit at Brands Hatch anyway, which exaggerates it a little bit. But you know, the fact that they're all in the same car, pretty much. Well, they are all in the same car, obviously, but they can't tune the car. They can't do anything to it. So no. It is completely down to the driver, and for all of them to be separated by such a small margin, even on a small circuit like the Indy circuit at Brands, it was just brilliant, and it really has set us up quite well for the rest of the season, for sure.
Well, they've set the bar themselves, they can't complain. They've set the bar that high. I knew from the quality of the grid, I'm not going to single any driver out at all, because they're all there on merit. They don't have to qualify to get in, but I've raced with these guys and girls for many a year now, nearly 5 years, I would say, and I know each of the driving styles, and I know what they're capable of on the night. Everybody has an off night, but yeah, when I saw the grid and I saw the entry list, I thought I couldn't have dreamt. Yeah, if someone had said pick your list for the grid for the BTCC, then that would have been pretty close. It was, yeah. There's some
I'd agree with that.
Incredible drivers. Yeah, we've been lucky, haven't we?
Well, we have, and also let's not forget that Danny C, our defending champion, wasn't racing last time out, but he's back for this one. And Shadow as well had a bit of an off night, because I didn't realise until afterwards that he wasn't feeling too well. So he put on a very strong performance, considering. So it's fully expecting Shadow to to really up his game this evening. So that's another 2 in the fight amongst everybody else that's in there. So this is going to be action packed, I think.
Well, just quickly before I open the lobby, which is due any second now, I'm just gonna the points. Well, Clayjax is in first place with 32, followed by LFC Ben on 21 points, Legion on 20 points in third. Fourth is Shadow on 15. Fifth is Glowing on 10. We've got Handy Pint standing in for Glowing tonight. He's on holiday. Marty's on 10 points. Hado is on 8 points. And then we've got Captain and Butler are both on 7 points. And King's Court on 4 points in 10th place. So that's how it stands at the moment. So it's all to play for. So that was only the first round, and it's already incredibly tight.
And
already.
A quick shout out as well to Hado, who you mentioned there is currently in 7th, but he in the championship, but he got a fantastic 4th place in the feature race last time out, and consequently, because of the result that he put in and the effort that he put in, we awarded him driver of the day because it was just a brilliant one-stop strategy. He made it work. Nobody else, as far as I'm aware, did a one-stop. And yeah, he reaped the benefits of it by getting the 4th place. So, yeah, well deserved driver of the day, I think.
Yeah, well said, Adam. Yeah, very well deserved. So let's hope he can put another performance in tonight, like he did last week.
No pressure.
No. Right, so they've got the lobby here. We know there's no rain here, so it's a sprint race first, 15-minute sprint at the west layout of LAGO MAGGIORE. So a fictional track this weekend. So it's exactly the same as last week. Grid start with full start check and fastest first. So this is the only qualifying they'll need to do, as the grid for the feature race is set by myself in a reverse order of the results from the sprint race. So without any further jabbering, let's get this room open. I know they're all waiting for it. So that's the lobby open. You got your drinks ready, Adam?
No, I've got me drink and I've got a spare bottle to top it up with. So yeah, we're ready to rock and roll.
So we'll sit here. Oh, look at this!
Here they
Holy
come, like a tsunami.
My God.
There we go. Straight away.
Wow.
They're determined.
They are. We're just one bit. We're missing one tonight, which unfortunately, no, we're missing 2 tonight. Storm unfortunately has had a problem with his pedals, so unfortunately he can't make it, and Matthias has had a last-minute engagement that can't be avoided, so he's not going to make it tonight. That's one of the both independents. So we've got 3 independents running tonight, so they should get some good points.
Yeah, it's going to help them in the independence fight, isn't it? But you know, it's a long season. I mean, Danny, we're going to obviously talk about because he's the defending champion, but he's got a bit of ground to make up. But there's still 9 rounds to go, so there's plenty of time. It's unfortunate that we can't get a full grid, but you know, things happen, unfortunately. But yeah, we're still going to have some fantastic racing, no doubt about that.
Oh, Ekberg's in. Right, okay. So we're just waiting for King's Court. So let me just send him a quick message.
Well, Jimmy's typing away then. He did mention about the drivers' standings. The independent standings is quite close. It's scored slightly differently. It's five down to 1 because there's only 5 independents. Matthias is actually leading the standings, but that's obviously going to change after tonight as he's not racing. Trooper is in 2nd, but again, he's not racing tonight, so that's going to change. Astral is in 3rd. He's on 5 points. There's Matthias on 9, Trooper on 8. Astral is on 5. Tyler's on 4, and Storm, who again isn't racing unfortunately, is on 3 points. So it's quite close, and obviously that's going to close up this evening as well, with a couple missing. So that makes for an interesting reading in the independents.
It's going to be, that's very close as well. So I'm looking forward to it this season because it's not something we've run in the past seasons, so I'm looking forward to how this plays out. So it's Yeah, it's already shaping up to be, even after the first round, because they've got their own championship alongside the main championship, which they'll also score points for. But if they finish outside the points, excuse me, for the main championship, they're still scoring points for where they are in the independents.
Yeah,
so
it
could
gives
be
them something to fight for, doesn't it?
Exactly. Yeah.
It doesn't matter where they finish; they're going to be scoring in.
They're going to be scoring
as long as there is an independent. So, yeah, it's something, as you say, we haven't done before, but it's something that hopefully will allow some of I don't want to say the slower drivers, but the drivers that are in the independents who are a little bit off the pace of the likes of Clay Jackson.
You mean they're basically the mortals? They're just like normal people.
Yeah,
they're normal, everyday guys and girls. They're just not got one eye in the middle of the forehead, coloured green skin, and an alien. They're just missing
fingers,
that. Yeah, that's right. So they're missing. They're not classed as an alien. So no, they're quick in their own right. I've raced most of these guys, and yeah. But it's basically for the people that aren't quite on the pace. I think me and you would be in there, wouldn't you? Do you think, Adam?
Well, we'd be propping up the back of the field, I think. Yeah, pretty sure of that. But yeah, it doesn't really matter what championship you're in, what car you're in. You're still going to be fighting with somebody at some point during the race. Whether you're in a main drivers manufacturer championship, whether you're running the independents, you're always going to have somebody around you to race with, which makes it fun. It makes it interesting, and gives us something really exciting to commentate on.
It does, and it proved that last week. The Astral with the reverse grid, but it gave. See, Astral was at the front of the grid, and I know it can cause pressure for some people, but he had a really good finishing position.
He held on for quite a while up the front as well, didn't he?
Yeah,
he didn't buckle under the pressure.
Trooper out in Irvine's Peugeot last week, my good friend from the States, who's also good friends with Tyler and King's Court that you see in the grid tonight. I can't thank these guys enough. There's a time difference to take into consideration, but they love it. They love racing, and we have a good chat online. But the man you're watching on the screen at the moment, Butler, I'm trying to get a glimpse of his helmet. He's got the Minion.
What you say?
See, now I was being. You have to lower the tone.
Oh, that's what I'm here for, to lower the tone.
We just nearly caught a glimpse of it then. His race suit's hilarious. Cracks me up. I managed to get the pictures of it. So Butler's, Adam was saying last week, he's another one that you can put in any class of car, whether it be a road going Scirocco, a Honda Civic that he run a series across on CC Sim, or Group 3s. You don't see him in Group 3s much, but you can put him in any car and he seems to adapt, and
he will turn his hand to anything. If it's an interesting car or an interesting format or concept, he'll give it a go. And he's always one to watch, is Carl. He didn't have the best of runs at Brands Hatch. He had a bit of a spin and an incident in the feature race, so we haven't seen the full capacity of Carl so far, but he's up there so far in the times. I know we're only 6 minutes in on this practice session, but he's up there at the moment, so hopefully he'll do a little bit better up here.
And the guy we're looking at the moment, Mr. Handy Pint, great friend of mine, one of the key CCR guys. I've known him, had a drink with this guy, what a legend, met him at Silverstone. He was doing track guides, so he's saying don't expect much of him tonight. He's only driven the car this afternoon, and he's decided to stand in for a driver for Glowing. He's saying not to expect much, but I'd be surprised if he's not up there. So he's a great guy, great racecraft, knows the track. So expect to go well out there tonight, Pint, and have a great result. But above all, just enjoy it.
Well, it's going to be interesting to see how they all get on round here, because this is obviously the short circuit for the sprint race. You probably just about saw it on that last corner there, and you've got one there. Those big sausage curbs. There's 2 or 3 around this layout that, if you hit them wrong, really mess you up. Can put you outside the track. Can put you up on 2 wheels. So that's something that they're going to be interested in watching for qualifying when they're trying to put in their fast laps. So you can see somebody putting in a quick lap, but it doesn't mean that they're going to stay there. It's easy to make a mistake around here.
Well, Danny's assured me he's got his power drill with him to
to take him up,
to take him out and get rid of him. He says so. As in true Danny's fashion. So we haven't seen this guy. We've seen Marty. So just give me 2 seconds, Adam. I'm just going to mute for a sec. You carry on.
You carry on. Yeah. So Marty's there in John Cleland's 1996 Vauxhall Vectra. Another driver who I know quite well from racing over at CC Sim in Minis. One of the cleanest drivers that you can race against. He's a very, very clever driver. He knows when to push, he knows when to work with you. And we didn't really see the best of him at Brands Hatch, but nevertheless he's a fantastic guy. And representing Scotland with John Cleland, he's a Scottish guy himself, so he'll be more than happy to be representing this livery. He's doing quite well so far at the moment. He's in 8th, but this is obviously only practice. We'll give him a few more moments, and then we'll get the qualifying underway. But just have a look as he goes through this right-hand corner now. Just there on the inside, that sausage curb. It's very, very easy. If you hit it, you could have gone straight, even avoided it, but you can hit that curb and it can throw you straight out onto the grass, into the wall if you're not too careful. He's avoided it this time, but yeah, it's going to be an area where if you're racing close to somebody and you're trying to take the inside line, it's going to be very easy to hit that curb and cause a bit of chaos. So it's going to be one to watch for the first couple of laps, that's for sure, particularly if they're in a pack. This is a flat out section now that he's just going through. Just got the key thing for this circuit really is to keep it smooth, and you don't really want to be hustling the car too much because it's easy to lose time when you do. You just got to keep the braking smooth, keep the turn in smooth, and just carry the speed through the corner. They're all on the racing softs for the sprint race, of course. As he goes through now, he's just got 2 more corners to go. There's another sausage curve that you can run over. That one actually, that one's not too bad. As he goes into the final corner, you can really get the power on early here because you've got plenty of space on the exit. It opens up quite wide, not to go too far to hit the sausage curb on the exit. And as he crosses the line, is he going to improve? No, he's down a little bit there. He might be watching the stream, you never know.
Great commentary there, great run through a lap from Adam there.
I was waiting for you to come back. I was running out of things to say.
Well, you were doing such a good job, I thought, no, I'm going to let you carry on. So we got Haydo, who we were talking about earlier. I've promoted Haydo to a full-time seat because he's far too good a talent for... He was basically as a reserve, but we had a driver drop out and give his seat up, so there was only one man to take his place, and that's this guy you're seeing on screen here in Will Hoy's BMW from the 1991. So same car, different livery, but we'll run through the liveries properly. Going to get the qualifying underway, and then we'll run through the grid properly and introduce everybody. So just get a quick message out now. So,
but just while Jimmy's doing that, I'll just run through some of the chat that we've had on YouTube. And Jimmy's commented back on a couple of them. So Handy Pint saying he's selling his Fanatic stuff if anybody's interested. So he's obviously deciding he wanting to upgrade and change. Ekberg's in the chat. Lovely to see you, Mr. BTCC. Hoping for a lovely race. Is he calling you Mr. BTCC? I'm assuming he is. Yeah.
He is, because we got this running joke because I call him Mr. IKEA.
Okay. Well, technically, I should be Mr. BTCC, shouldn't I? I've got more knowledge about it than you have.
You definitely. That's
it's
not.
All right, Pete. I won't take it personally. It's all right.
That's not in any doubt. And if you're wondering who Tell 699 is, that's Terry Chow, who is a regular in Player Sports Lobbies, I've raced with him a great deal. Not seen much of him recently, but I chatted with him the other night, and he's put his name down on the reserve list.
That's handy. It's good to know.
Yeah, so I'm going to get this qualifying underway.
So it's obviously only going to be a 10-minute qualifying.
That's right.
Fastest lap obviously sets the grid. It was close last time out, and that was on a short circuit, so hopefully this will be just as close. Clayjack's led that practice session, but that doesn't mean anything going into actual full-on qualifying.
No, but it's... I think you'll get a few drivers putting a banker lap in and seeing where everybody's at.
Yeah, they've got plenty of time to do it, haven't they? They did that last time out there. Obviously, it was a shorter circuit, so space was of a premium, really. But
yeah, they're not spacing themselves out much.
No, but it's always a good idea to just get a little bit of a banker lap in, get a bit of a feel to see where you are on the grid, and whether you need to try to go out and improve or anything like that. Clayjacks is well versed in this. He took pole last time out. So he got that all-important bonus point for pole position, which they'll all be fighting for. It could be something that makes or breaks the championship this year. It's going to be so close, it could come down to pole positions and fastest laps, couldn't it?
Yes, it could do. I mean, every point counts, as Adam was saying there. See, this corner we're just looking at there, you can take an enormous amount of that on the inside without getting a penalty. So that's where you can gain... I'm not sure by taking a lot of that gains you a huge amount. Taking half of it does, but it normally spits you out to the left towards the gravel if you take a wider line.
You can use the camber to kind of half turn the car through that corner. You can get on the power quite early, but as you say, if you turn in too early, it naturally pushes you out when you either have to increase your steering to stay off the gravel on the exit or feather the throttle, and it just defeats the whole point of taking too much curb. So there is a balance between how much you take and how much pressure you're putting on yourself, whether you're on a fast lap or not, or whether you're being consistent. Tyre wear obviously is going to be a factor in the feature race, something to consider. So we could see some mistakes down through there, but it is an overtaking spot as well, because it comes off of a long straight and over the crest of a hill, so they're flat out all the way along here. They're building speed, and that's the next braking point. You're obviously braking slightly uphill as you approach the corner, but it's still downhill all the way. You get a little bit of a run, then it levels out as we see here, braking, and then you just turn the car in and hope that it sticks. And if you run too wide, you can see they're already starting to kick up the gravel on the exit. But see how close the gravel is to that curving. So it's so easy to get a wheel there, and then you're going to be spinning to the inside.
That's right. We were looking at Tyler here. I'm just going to pull up the points table again. So Tyler's not actually made it onto the leaderboard as of yet. So Kings is on it with 4 points, so with only 3 independents out tonight. Oh, sorry, I'm correct. I take all that back. Tyler Mann is in 4th place. He's on level points with Kings Court. So that was because Kings was in the manufacturers last week. He's in the independents this week. But like I say, Adam was saying, all the finishing positions now with only 3 independents out this week, then they've got a chance to bag a good haul of points. So we could see a lot of changes on the leaderboard this week.
Well, King's going into the independents. He still keeps his points in the main championship, but obviously he's got to start from the beginning of the independents, really, because he wasn't scoring for independents last time out. So he's got points in the main championship, but he's starting from scratch in the independents. But there's still plenty of time to do something about that, with 9 rounds still to go.
That's right. We're just looking at Butler here. He's topping the timesheets at the moment with a 1:29.0. That's a really quick time. He's only got a 2/10 gap between himself and LFC Ben, with Clayjack's finding himself in 3rd, who's literally only just under half a second off the pace. which is not like Clayjacks, but maybe they found themselves in a bit of traffic.
I was just about to say, I suspect he was in a little bit of traffic and he's probably backed off a bit just to give himself some space and go for another run. But yeah, I can't see him staying there too much. Danny C returning for the first time this season, in 4th at the moment, only a 10th off Clayjacks as it stands. But what does Clayjacks do here? So he's 2 seconds off on that lap, so he's obviously backed off to give himself some space, so he's going to be one to watch. Legion, I'm surprised, he's all the way down in 8th place. That's a surprise.
Yeah, that's a surprise. Let's just, speaking of Danny C, let's get the man on the screen. You're looking at the Season 3 champion here, he's basically stuck. He drives an Audi in real life, and he requested that the Audi, and have obliged, and he's stayed in the Audi for every season. He's been in every season up to now. Won 2 of them. So he's coming back, all guns blazing. I met Danny last week at Alton Park. We were watching the touring cars, and he's full of enthusiasm, as he always is. And he's taking it on the chin. He's saying you should always follow your passion, always follow your hobby. And he just wanted to watch the touring cars at Alton. He stayed there, camped all weekend, and he said it is what it is, but I'm going to come out, give it every bit of determination that I can put into it, and he's just going to come out here and above all have fun. But he's more than capable of making the points back, isn't he, Adam?
Well, definitely, but don't forget he did that in Season 2. He missed a round in Season 2 and very near won Season 2. He was right up against Clayjacks, who obviously went on to win it then. So Danny hasn't finished outside the top 2 in any season that he's competed in the BTCC. Just to give you that little bit of a statistic, he's either won it or finished second, which is proper Frank Beeler style. It's
incredible. And speaking of Clayjacks, he's now in 2nd place, which you predicted correctly, Adam, and he's just under a 10th off the top.
That's an impressive time that Carl has put in. Butler, who's leading it at the moment.
It is. Yeah.
He wasn't running that quickly in the practice, so he's obviously thrown the sandbags out the window and filled up the gravel trap on the outside of this corner, because he's beating Clayjacks, and that is something impressive. There was a lot of curb taken by Clayjacks there on the inside, so I don't know whether he got a penalty. It's not flagging up at the moment. No, so he knows exactly how much to cut through there.
I'm just going to jump to lead. Sorry, did you want to stay on Clayjacks, did you?
I was just going to see how far off he was. No, he's still not there. So despite cutting all of that corner, he didn't actually gain too much, and it hasn't really pulled him in good stead there. So yeah, sorry mate, carry on.
No, that's all right. I was just going to jump to Legion, because he's uncharacteristically, but he did say that he's not keen on this track, and it's looking to be the case. But anything can happen in a race, so he's more than capable. He won the most races last season, and incredibly didn't take the championship. So we said this last week, so we know he's got the skill, he's got the talent. See, Ekberg still is in the they're all in the 129s. Let's just have a look at the time difference now between, where is it, a second, top 10 are within a second. That's
similar to how we saw at Brands Hatch. So it's proof, if ever we needed it, that running everybody on the same car, the same setup, and the quality of the drivers is just making it ultra close.
Well, that's it, and that's what it's all about. It then comes down to driver skill. So there's no one's got an advantage. I mean, setups, I do like doing setups, but not everybody's good at them. But as Adam just touched on there, with everybody in the same equipment, it's a completely level playing field, and it comes down to driver skill then. And in the feature race, it's not just pedal to the metal. You've got to look at tyre wear, fuel usage, when you want to look at your closest rival, if you want to undercut, go for the overcut. There's all sorts of strategies in play, and it makes for fantastic viewing and commentary, Adam, if we can keep up.
If we can keep up, and talk about keeping up, we've only got a minute left of this qualifying, and Clayjack still hasn't toppled Butler. This is looking really good. He hasn't even improved, has he? He can't do it. For whatever reason, he just can't find that little bit. So I'm wondering,
Danny has
wondering
leapfrogged LFC Ben into third place. He was fifth for a while.
He has, and Marty's up there as well. So this is really shaping up, because Shadow is somebody who you'd expect to be right up the top as well, and he's only
That's right.
sixth. I know he's not far off, but you know, Carl is going to be very happy if he can hold on to this pole position. He didn't have the best of runs at Brands Hatch, and he's looking
just going
to
to
make the best
focus
start
on
here.
LFC Ben and see. Oh, he's done it!
Oh, he's done it!
I was just going to say, there was only 2,000 between himself and Danny. What a lap from Ben in the dying seconds.
He waited to put that one in, didn't he? So it's going to be
I had a
interesting
suspicion.
to see.
I did have a suspicion.
It'll be interesting to see where Carl does with that, and what Clayjacks can do, because that is a fantastic run. Well, Carl's backed out of it, so
Carl's backed out.
That's him done.
That was an absolute flyer from Ben. I was just looking at...
You timed that absolutely perfectly to watch him as he went across the line. It's almost as if you knew what you were doing.
Almost, ladies and gentlemen, almost. But I was just looking at the times. There was only 2,000s between... 200s between Danny and LFC Ben, and I thought, Ben's more than capable of making that up.
There's really nothing in it, is there? Danny's on a flying lap, and Butler and Marty got well out of the way to give him plenty of space. Shadow's jumped up to fourth. So Shadow in the dying moments.
That's a great effort from Shadow. But Handy Pint in seventh.
Changes?
That's... Legion is still in. Let's just go down to Handy Pint. Let's see what the gap is. Yeah, see, it's very close between Handy Pint and Legion. So, yeah.
Well, that is it. I think there's a couple more cars coming round, but I think they're on a slow run. That, I think, to me, looks like the end of qualifying. I don't see anybody else improving. Nope. No, they're not going to. So that puts LFC Ben on pole position, Butler in second, and Clayjacks in third. Danny down in fifth, and Legion, who got
Let's go to your
second
pole
and third
sitter.
last time.
This is your pole sitter, ladies and gentlemen. What an absolute flyer of a lap from LFC Ben.
But look how close it is. 0.035 back to Butler. That was brilliant. Well, chuck those results up, mate, while you're typing, and I'll just run through them.
Thank you.
So we've got LFC Ben takes a fantastic pole position, a 129.027. Closely followed, and I mean closely followed, by Butler in the Volvo. Clayjacks in third, just a tenth off. There's nothing in that, is there? Shadow suddenly jumped up into fourth. That's a better showing from Shadow there. He did well in the sprint race last time out in qualifying, and he's there in fourth. Danny C, defending champion, returning for the first time. He's there in fifth, just 2 tenths off. Marty in sixth. Handy Pint on his debut in the championship this season, and having done hardly any testing as well, just to be half a second off in seventh. Legion's a bit of a surprise, all the way down there in 8th place, but he can make that up, that's for sure. And then moving on to the next one, we've got King's Court, who is the lead independent. He's in 9th place. Ekberg in the Mondeo in 10th. Astral in 11th. Haydo in 12th, and Tyler bringing up the rear in 13th. But yeah, I mean, it's still the top 11 within a second. That is brilliant for first qualifying.
Absolutely incredible. I'm gobsmacked at the times there. That is...
Well,
I'm in
races
danger.
aren't won by pole position; they're won by the checkered flag. And
Correct.
This first corner is a very, very tight first corner. It's very, very dangerous. So yeah, hold your breath, ladies and gentlemen, because everybody's going to be trying to make the best start possible.
I've just given time to get a drink, because it is
standing start. Remember.
That's right. Yeah, with a full start check, so you've got to keep your fingers or feet on the if you're depending on your pad or a wheel, keep your finger on the brake or put your handbrake on, whatever you want to do, because one slight movement will get you a 3-second penalty almost. Because it's
we saw last season how good Danny C was off the start. He always made up places off of the start. I think he had one bad start all season. The rest of them he either maintained places or made up places. So he's going to be one to watch off of the start. But what a lap there from LFC Ben. Absolutely brilliant, and congratulations to Butler as well, because that's a great return, considering the results that he had last time out. He's obviously put some practice in, whether he admits to it or not. It's quite clear to see.
Yeah, but I don't know whether it's.
He might just like this circuit.
Yeah, I was just going to say, might be one of his favourite ones, but yeah, Ekberg there, saying to King's Court, a close one. So yeah, we watch out. There's going to be plenty of battles throughout the grid. Apologies in advance if we miss anything. Hopefully we won't.
Well, in a way, hopefully we do, because it's going to be so action-packed we won't be able to look everywhere all at once.
Oh dear. Right, so for the second sprint race of the season here at LAGO MAGGIORE, straight sprint race, 15 minutes, racing soft tyres only, fastest first. As we've already seen, LFC Ben has ticked that box. So can he keep the advantage up and make a break for it? Can he do it? There's only one way to find out. Let's get this race started. So in 3, 2, 1, here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Sit tight, get a drink.
Strap yourself in.
17 watching, thank you ever so much for tuning in on this Friday evening to watch round 2 of the Jimmy Codger's British Touring Car Championship with live comms from myself and Adam Bath. What a picture! I'm going to get a shot of that. Wow. So, here we go.
I was just about to say, do the lights come on? They do.
They
It
do.
didn't look like they were going to, but here we go.
What a view from the start. So Ben nailed the start, so let's just see. Now, the best line here, you want... Oh, Ben's taken straight over. Now, Clay Jacks has made a move already on Butler. So Butler's lost out straight away on the start. But that's... So everybody through cleanly.
Looks like it. Well done to everybody there, getting through that first chicane very cleanly, because it's really, really tight, particularly when the pack's all together. But Clayjack straight away, he wants to absolutely make hay while the sunshine down the inside. Is he going to do it?
This is last of the late breakers. He's got this done. He's got this done, surely. What a move!
Yeah, just about.
Ben's got the run.
Switchback. No, probably not. Not up this hill. No, I don't think so. Oh, I don't know if he can hold it around the outside.
He's trying. He's trying.
I don't think so. He's trying. He's not giving it up. But watch out for Butler. Butler's looking down the inside. So we've got Clayjacks on the right. Butler's going to try and follow him through. Ben round the outside. He did like that move at Brands Hatch.
Butler's managed to feed it.
Hasn't worked. Oh, he's just run a little bit wide.
So LFC Ben has dropped a place.
I don't know whether he would have got a penalty for that. He did run quite wide off the circuit, but as we're on board there with LFC Ben now, the pole leader, the pole sitter, he's down in third, giving Cole a little bit of a tickle, nudge down the pit straight. Come on, let's get after Clayjack. No, he's going to go down the inside. Look out for Shadow. Is Shadow going to go down the inside? Oh, breathe in.
Danny C's has taken advantage of that.
But look how close this pack still is. Even though these guys are fighting, it's holding everybody up. But everybody is really, really close there. And Legion's made up a place. He's up into 7th.
But Ekberg has found himself in a very, very decent 8th place, being hounded by Legion. Marty's found himself in 6th place, being hounded by Legion here. As we see Legion potentially going for the move here. He's looking at Marty. He's let him know he's there. Oh, that's a very tight line from Legion. That was a very easy move, but Marty's got the drive out the corner, but Legion has got the better line.
Marty saw that coming. He thought, you have the tighter line. I'm just going to hang it wide, break a bit earlier, turn in tighter, get the exit, and managed to defend that. So that was clever driving by Marty there. Didn't get riled up in a battle. He just thought, yeah, okay, Legion, you try and make up space, and I'll just sit back here, watch you sail past, and make up the space on the exit. But Handy Pints dropped down a little bit, but nevertheless, he's still running. I don't know whether he had an incident there, because he did drop down. He was a bit further up there, and he's a bit.
He's dropped
off the
one
back
place.
Of, Yeah, but he's behind Ekberg now, so and there's quite a bit of a gap back to Ekberg. So, oh, it's getting spicy up the front, isn't it? Have a look at the front.
Oh, three of
LFC Ben found himself
back
in the lead, and Clajax is somehow held onto. Oh, Carl's half spun. That was unfortunate. As Clajax looks down the inside of Ben, backs out of it. So I don't know if you managed to save that replay. Let's have a look with Carl. Yeah, he did that all by himself. Danny was nowhere near him. He just put the power on a bit early. There was another spinner there. Who was that? Oh, it was Danny. So perhaps Danny did tag him because Danny slowed right down.
So where's Danny?
Danny's all the way down at the back now because he slowed right down to let Carl back through. So perhaps Danny did think that he
Danny clipped the back of Butler and then pulled over. Well, there, ladies and gentlemen, there's an example of what we strive for here, Jimmy Codger Racing. There's only two rules I have. That was one of them displayed there. If you think you've made a mistake, you've caught someone or you pushed them off track, pull over, give the place back. Well done, Danny C.
Well, that was fair play to Danny because from the overhead shot, it didn't actually look like there was contact. It looked like it looked like Carl just put the power on too early. So fair play to Danny, but
he's left himself a lot of work to do now.
Yeah, he has. He's still got plenty of time. He's still got 10 minutes. He knows he's quick. He's right on the back of Kings now. He's going to be so frustrated. This is not the return to the championship that Danny wanted, but back up at the front. We've still got Clajax hounding. Oh, both of them going really sideways on the exit there, but he's properly hounding LFC Ben. Looking back, this is the danger view. So
that's not what you want, is it? Mirror full of Clajax.
You don't want Jason Plato in your mirrors either, and James Thompson always had plenty of view of that. So let's see how much of a tow. But LFC Ben has just gone purple, half a second purple on that sector. So let's see if he can carry this on. Danny C's got the fastest lap at the moment.
That would put him at his qualifying time. So meanwhile, Shadow has made his way up into third place, with it closely followed by Marty. And Legion is also climbing himself up the grid here, with Ekberg in an excellent sixth place. So let's have a look at the battle between these two. So Ekberg is really challenging here. He was telling a few porkies, I think, because he was saying, I can't find the rhythm on this track.
Well, Ekberg's a clever driver. I've seen him improve over the last few seasons racing over at CC Sim. He's worked out that if you follow the fast guys, all of a sudden you start to go quicker. And that's exactly what he's doing. He's following Legion, who doesn't necessarily like this circuit, remember, but Legion's still a quick guy as he runs. Don't follow him over there. Yeah, Ekberg, that's not the correct line, but it's starting to get a little bit spicy up front again. We've got LFC Ben on the inside, Clajax looking around the outside, which is going to be the inside for the next corner. Is he going to do it?
Yes, that's left Shadow vulnerable.
I was going to say Shadow's looking there as well, isn't he? Because he's really. LFC Ben's has he held it very well held? Watch that replay. I don't think LFC Ben wants to see that again, but he saw his back end coming round, didn't he? Where did he run a bit too wide? Just got a complete tank slapper over the sausage curb, still trying to recover it. That puts Shadow up into second and has given Clajax a bit of breathing space here, but
he's got Marty for company. He's got Marty right on his tail. Now he's obviously, Ben's going to be a bit vulnerable for losing a bit of speed there with that slide, so I think Marty might be weighing up a move here. I don't think he might try at these next S-bends, but let's have a look. Is he close enough? He's certainly
might be able to get a good run through here. He's looking at it. He's trying to eye it up. I think Ben's got the measure of him. Saying that, he's just run a little bit wide there. He's just overdriving this car a little bit, is Ben, isn't he? He's not really as smooth as he was in qualifying. He knows he's got the pace. But Marty, who's following, has actually got the fastest lap at the moment at 28.7.
Well spotted. Holy moly. That is 0.3 quicker than the qualifying time. But I'm just going to go back down to Butler, who we saw had that incident, who's managed to claw his way back up to 8th place and is having a right battle with Handy Pint here. But Handy Pint, he knows he's not in the championship, but he'll still be giving it his all, and he's a very, very good racer, is our Handy Pint. He's got excellent racecraft. He's one of the cleanest guys I've ever raced with. When I say race with, that's a bit far-fetched. I've been on the same track as him, but I've never...
I was just about to say, you were doing well if you were racing with Andy.
I know. Yeah, well, yeah, that's it. That's the whole scenario. No, but we've raced in Group 3s, and he's had a spin, and we've ended up being on the same part of the track. But it's a pleasure to race with Handy Pint. He's one of the guys that I've known for years from CCR. So Butler is still... He cannot catch Handy Pint. Now, we know Handy Pint's in the slipstream of Ekberg, who's in 6th place at the moment. So Legion has just pulled out a bit of a gap here. He's still just in the slipstream. But Handy Pint is rapidly closing on Ekberg.
Yeah, and we've got Legion slowly catching on Marty as well, so he's going to be in the tow. I think Legion might be lining up Marty for a move down into this first corner. Is he close enough? And possibly not. But it's looking close up the front again. Once again going into the first corner. Shadow's gone defensive. LSC Ben's got his second win. He's going to try and get down the inside. Can he do it? He's running a bit wide as Shadow. So does that mean that Ben's on the inside? I think it does. Yes. Breathe in. Watch that sausage curb. So LFC Ben has recovered. We've still got 5.5 minutes of this race to go. Can he catch Legion?
But look at this group.
He's got the time. I mean, they're fighting, but they're still all over each other.
I'm going to go for a move. I'm just going to go on for Shadow here. Just going to go on board with Shadow. Will he make a move?
No, he'll back out of this.
I know Shadow sometimes watches the stream, and I'm a bit worried of encouraging it.
Well, he's a clever driver, is Shadow. He'll know you don't need to try anything too drastic. Having said that, he's dummying
Ben.
Corner.
Will he look for the inside of this corner? Oh, this is great racing to watch. Great racing. Look at this.
Marty, because Marty's really caught up, and he's pulled Legion along with him. All this is doing is it's helping Clayjacks out front, isn't it? While these guys are fighting, Clayjacks is running away with it. Legion down the inside of Marty. Oh, bit of a touch. Marty, has he saved it? Yes.
He saved it.
Legion, that was a bit tight there, mate. You might want to give that position back, but it was a bit of a bump and run. Well, it doesn't matter. Marty's going for it anyway, isn't he? Is he going to break down the inside? No, thinks better of it. It was a bit robust, but he made it move. Shadow's dropped.
Here's your classic touring car view.
Did Shadow make a mistake into that corner because he suddenly got caught there by Legion? So Legion's got the tow all the way up this hill, and if Shadow lost any speed at all, he's going to be vulnerable down to this next corner.
Don't discount Mr. Danny C, who's made his way back up into 7th place, right at the back of this battle here.
Yeah,
so from 13th place, as we see here, Shadow's holding the inside line, defensive, making Legion go all around the outside, but Marty's seen an opportunity. But can he get the switch back here? That was an opportunistic move from Marty there. That was well spotted, because he knew that Legion was going to be vulnerable by being pushed to the outside because of Shadow's defence. So
if it had gone wrong for both of them, then Marty would have made up 2 places there. So he positioned himself well, looked for the exit. It just didn't get turned in early enough, but he's right there. If anything goes on between these guys in front, he's going to make up some places here.
I don't want to lose this. I just see Danny in the background here, so Danny's doing really well. But Astral in 8th place. What a drive from Astral tonight in Jamie Wall's Vauxhall Cavalier back in the day.
He's leading the independents at the moment, is Astral.
Yes,
that's going to be some good points for him.
It is, and King's caught in Hamish Irvine's Peugeot 405, going even faster this week, Adam.
Yeah, it was a bit of a surprise to see how high up that livery got last time out, but it's even higher this time. So
brilliant! Yeah. What a result! So I've not seen Ekberg. So no, mate, has Ekberg fallen down?
Ekberg's dropped down. He's behind these 2 independents, so he's obviously had an incident.
And Handy Pint has had it
there as well. So
right, so maybe they've had it coming together.
Either are coming together or they've spun or something. But yeah, a bit of a shame. But
battle I can see at the moment is King's Court right on the back of Astral now. We know Kings is quick.
The lead of the independents.
It is, yeah. Can he get the inside line? But it's what you've got to balance there. Is like Adam was touching on before. Depending on how much curb you take, you can lose traction by getting on the power and you're still on the curbs. So if you take
looking down the inside here,
can this be a move done? Definitely a move. Well done. That's a great move. That's a brilliant move.
He hold it in tight. He needs to give room, which he's done. Fantastic.
What
brilliant
racing.
Great awareness from Astral. Fantastic move by Kings. He lined it up perfectly. Made sure that Astral knew where he was.
Just going to get a quick replay of that move there. What some clean driving we've seen. Oh, he's got it. It's too quick. Yeah,
unfortunately. But yeah, it was a brilliant, clean move.
LFC Ben, meanwhile, has got the lead from Clayjacks.
Yeah, so we've missed that, haven't we? I wonder whether Clayjacks made a mistake, something similar to Ben.
Clayjacks make a mistake?
Well, it's possible.
Hang on.
Possible. He could have hit one of those.
I'll note that down.
It's certainly possible. We haven't seen it. We'll obviously be watching the replays later on to see what happened. But he's not
as we see a move here,
nope,
he's making Clayjacks go the long way round.
Clayjacks might be looking for the switchback. Has he
got
got
a
it?
move!
I think he might have done.
But Ben's got the inside for this next left-hander.
He's got the momentum as Clayjacks round the outside. This
what
is going to be the
racing
inside for
from
the
these
right.
guys!
Are they going to get another lap? I think they will.
Yeah, they'll get one more lap.
So
Ben's gone round the outside and he's retaken the lead. But Clayjacks is going to be right to his right here.
There.
Right there on his right-hand side.
This is
side by side.
I don't know. Are they going to get to the line? This could be the last lap, actually.
It could be. It is.
See Ben keeping his foot down. Has Clayjacks got the run? I don't think he has. This is going to be close.
Oh!
And Ben moves, just about gets it. Fantastic.
Wow.
That was a close finish.
Well done, guys. Ben. Oh.
That was a well-timed move there from Ben. If he hadn't have done it then, he wouldn't have won that race. So fantastic result. So Ben manages to somehow claw his way back after that early half spin that he recovered. He dropped down quite a way and managed to pull it back somehow after changing his overalls midway through the race and still managed to win it. Brilliant result.
Exactly. I'm just going to get that.
And that was only a sprint race.
I know. I know. I was just about to say the same thing. Oh my word.
Well, LFC Ben takes that win only just from Clayjacks, who finished in second place. Shadow managed to bring his way back up. Never discount Shadow, who finished in third. Great recovery from Legion as well. He started all the way down in 8th place and finished in 4th. Helped a little bit by a bit of a coming together with Butler and Danny, but Butler managed to finish 5th. Marty in 6th, so Marty dropped down at the end there as well, but did get the fastest lap. Danny recovered to 7th, which is a good result, but not where he wanted. Kings finished in 8th overall, and that was the lead of the independents.
Brilliant finish for Kings. I've got a screenshot of that. I'll send them to you after, Adam.
Oh yeah, that's the point. Yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah.
And then Handy Pint in 9th, Ekberg in 10th, Astral in 11th, Hado in 12th, and then Tyler in 13th place. But what a finish there at the end.
I think we may have just lost one. I've just seen a message on Discord. I think Kings has had to dive out for some reason.
Yeah, Kings has left the room. That's unfortunate.
Where does it say that?
Got
an emergency. That's cool. No, that's cool.
That's fine.
Fancy a race in the feature, Adam?
Not against them lot, no.
I'm
not suicidal.
I'm pulling your leg.
I can't commentate and race at the same time.
Right.
Not unless you want me to describe what the barriers look like.
No, I could do that. Get a drink.
Oh, dearie me.
Setting grid. Please. Oops, that's not how you spell please. Please stay in your cars. Right, so if I get the... We nearly started qualifying again. They wouldn't have been happy then, would they?
Well, I don't know. It was quite entertaining.
Right, so let's just open the feature lobby. Right, so
I'm not looking. I'm not.
you're
looking
not
at
looking.
This.
Right, you're not looking at this. Right, so
So don't say it either, because otherwise that defeats the whole point of me looking away.
yeah, look away, Adam. Right, so we've got a 30-minute feature race. The grid will be set by me. Can't rain here. So it's a rolling start this time in the feature race. Got vehicle damage on, but it's only light. Slipstream weak. Tyre and fuel usage we've got in this race. Starting on a default 85 litres of fuel. So take that into consideration. Exactly the same as last week. So there's no... the only tyres you can use are racing hards and mediums. You must use both compounds within the race. You can use it if you have to do a 3-stop. You can use 2 mediums and a hard, or whatever. You must use one of each. There's no the shortcut penalties on week. Be careful. We've got the pit lane cutting penalty on. So if you cut the white line entering the pits or exiting the pits, depending on how severe the game is, you will find yourself with a 3-second penalty to be served on the following lap. And we have flag rules on. So if you see blue flags, please keep your eyes peeled for blue flags. You should get a notification on your screen saying faster cars approaching. So don't just stop in the middle of the track. Be aware, keep your radar on, and just ease off. And they know they're going to come past you, but you don't have to come to a grinding halt. Just let them pass in the next safest place. So let's change the event settings. Wow, I tell you what, I'm sweating here, Adam, just commentating. This is crazy.
It was the same as last week, wasn't it? It was baking hot, and we had baking hot races to commentate on.
Certainly
this one's going to be really interesting because I do like this long circuit. It's
oh, I didn't save the replay.
Oh, I'm sure somebody will have.
I can't save it from this screen either, can I?
Right. No, it's already done. Hopefully somebody did save that replay.
Yeah.
Normally somebody does. But yeah, so as Jimmy was saying, this is a 30-minute race now with tyre wear, with fuel usage. They've got to use both hard and medium tyres at some point during this race. So strategy is really going to come into play. Can Clayjacks actually do what he did last time and time it to perfection?
If he can repeat that, I'm going to get a bit worried if he starts doing that on a regular basis.
I think everybody else is going to get worried as well, wouldn't they?
Well, yeah, so we're just waiting for Legion to enter, otherwise I can't set the grid. You watch now as a typer, he'll enter.
He did that last time. He waited to be prompted and then went straight in. There he goes. No, right. Is he in? Yes, he's in.
He's in. Right, okay, we can set the grid. Right, change grid order. Right, hang on a second, Adam. I need to send you the pictures, don't I?
Okay, yeah, because I forgot to take a picture of it.
Yeah, that's cool. That's all right.
We're very professional over here.
Well, at least the old Codger can work technology, so we would be screwed if I couldn't do that.
That's true, yeah. Right. So I haven't got much of a chance.
So what I've got to do is send these over to Adam, and then Adam is going to read out the results. And then in reverse order, I like this bit, Adam, because I can put the fast guys right at the back.
Yeah. Well, you know Clayjack. Clayjack's isn't it? Is it going to be Ben who's going to go all the way down to the bottom, isn't it? Because he won that last race.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. So Ben, all the way down to the bottom. Then he's currently in 6th on that screen.
Why is it down to 12? Hang on. Who hasn't entered? Oh no, 11.
We've got 13 showing on the screen. So come out of it and go back in it again.
13.
Is everybody entered?
12.
Oh yeah, there's 12 because 13.
13's me.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay,
okay, so Then all the way down to the bottom. As we said, we are
Clayjacks.
professional. Clayjacks. Then it's Shadow. Then Legion. Then Butler. Then Marty. Then Danny C. Then Kings.
Which he's not in.
Who isn't there? Oh no, sorry, yeah, Kings had to go, didn't he? My mistake. Handy Pint then. Followed by Ekberg. Then Astral. And Hido, and then Tyler on pole.
Right. Just run through that. So we got LFC Ben, Clayjacks, Shadow.
Clayjacks, Shadow, Legion, Butler, Marty, Danny, Kings isn't there, Handy Pint, Ekberg, Astral, Hido, and Tyler. Cool.
All done. Right. Right, so that is the grid set. Tyler on pole. Oh, Rez is in. He's Gold Star. For those who don't know. Just get a... We'll catch up on the chat in the YouTube in a second.
Well,
so
yeah, I'm not even going to attempt to call this one. it can be anyone's, can't it? Let's be honest.
Tyler's happy.
Well, it's going to be interesting to see how Danny goes in this race, because we didn't really see his full potential. He had that incident with Butler in that sprint race, had to send himself to the back and then fight his way back through again. But obviously the advantage of that, if you can call it that, is that he's starting ahead of a lot of the fast guys going into this feature race. So depends on what tyres he starts on, depends on what strategy, fuel maps and all the rest of it. But he's got a good opportunity. He's always quick getting through the traffic at the beginning of these reverse grid races, so certainly don't count Danny C out of this race, that's for sure.
Well, having said that, Adam, do you remember a certain race at Brands Hatch where we thought Danny's got this in the bag? And
yeah, he misjudged it, didn't he?
He misjudged it and went a lap early on his softs to close the gap, but fell foul of his and then he had to pit for a second time, which he wasn't.
He did, yeah.
He wasn't very happy on that. So I think he's generally very good on his strategies, but I think sometimes the heat of the moment can come into it and go, you make the wrong call. Rather than preserve your tyres, you're trying to close the gap.
Yeah, the red mist can descend a little bit, can't it? You end up pushing a little bit too hard on your tyres and you pay for it later on, or you use too much fuel and all this kind of stuff. So Danny will probably streaming this from his viewpoint over on his own YouTube channel. So once this stream's finished, go back and watch it from Danny's perspective, because you'll have a good insight as to the driver's eye view, as it were, and his thought process going into the races. So that would be interesting to see how he approaches this feature race from his perspective.
That's right. His channel is It's Danny C, ITZ Danny C. Go and check him out on YouTube. Great shout, that, Adam. It's great watching it. Any of you guys out there that you're afraid, not say afraid, maybe that's not the right word. If you're a bit apprehensive about entering these endurance races with tyres and fuel because you're not too sure how to work the strategies out, Danny is probably one of the best guys to watch. He'll talk. He doesn't just go in. He'll commentate on himself, and he'll commentate on the situation he finds himself in and why he's going to change his tyres or why he's chosen that. So it's a really good insight. So I have a lot of fun.
If you ever watch him racing at Bathurst as well on his cool down laps, or when he's on a practice lap, he'll always slow down and say hello to his mate, the little kangaroo bouncing down the edge of the circuit. There's little things like that he notices. He's travelling down the circuit at 150, 160 mile an hour and notices a kangaroo bouncing along the circuit. This gives you an idea of the awareness that he's got.
That's right, very, very well said. Yeah, it can just put your mind at rest, and to sort of, because I've had a lot of fun in these endurance races with the fuel. I've nearly won a race when I was at the CCR. Unfortunately, the game had other thoughts and decided that I wanted to turn left, and it turned me right, and I went straight into the barriers, and that was game over. So we see him out on the medium tyres testing the durability. So let's just see what Clayjax is out on. So he's interested. He's testing the mediums. Now I've set this at sunset, so whether the track temperatures will have any impact on the tyres, make them last a little bit longer, I'm not sure. It doesn't give us a track temperature. There'll be no rain. They know that. Don't think they're getting away with it. It will be I think Michael Fish is doing the forecast next week. I think.
I've got no insight into that, ladies and gentlemen, before you start complaining. This is all Jimmy's doing. He's taking the blame for it. Whenever it rains, it's his fault.
Well, what did they say last season? A couple of them said...
They wanted more rain, yeah.
Well,
they wanted more rain.
You only have to say that to the Codger once.
Yeah, but the problem is, when I met you at Silverstone, you brought the rain with you then. So
you're blaming me for...
Exactly. You've got your always got your weather stick in your hand, haven't you?
And guess what it did at Alton Park on the weekend?
It did. It rained.
It was just like one of my feature races. I was taking notes. Thought, that's that's an interesting scenario. But
funny enough, it's nice and sunny down here at the moment, and you're nowhere to be seen. So yeah, it's definitely you.
Take of that what you will. So at the moment we've got a 208.197 on the board from LFC Ben, but they're not qualifying in this. They've got 10 minutes practice, which we're just approaching 9.5 minutes now. So what I'll do, when they get to the 10-minute stage, I'll let everybody go for a toilet break, go and get a drink, wipe themselves down, clean the wheel.
This is interesting because I was practicing the other night just out of curiosity, and Ben's lap time is very, very similar to what I was doing on the medium.
Oh, that's interesting then.
Was that the time that I sent over to you? I can't remember. Was it an 8 or was it a 9? I can't believe I was doing an 8, surely. I'm not that quick. I must have been practicing on the wrong circuit or had my car set. Perhaps it wasn't on BOP, that would explain it. There's no way
okay.
I'm that would explain it. There's no way I'm that quick. But I didn't have tyre wear on, so just out of curiosity to see what these guys are heading for. Give a bit of an insight.
So
but yeah, this long layout is very similar to the short one. Obviously, a little bit longer, but it's the same circuit in as much that you've got to be very, very smooth.
That's right. Yeah.
It really, really does cause a bit of an issue if you try to overdrive the car. You end up using too much track, and you just end up scrubbing speed. Particularly with this car, you've got to be so smooth, and obviously with the tyre wear. Because if you're too aggressive with the steering, too aggressive with the throttle, you're just going to destroy your tyres, and it obviously affects your strategy a little bit. So we've got some guys in this who are really, really good on strategy, as Jimmy was saying. So just to see how they all approach it. Do they start on hards? Do they start on mediums?
That's right. I mean, I think, with it being a reverse grid, logic would say that the faster guys are going to be pretty quick on the hard tyres, and are they going to start on hards at the back and try and go for the overcut and try and guarantee to get themselves up to the midfield for the medium runners?
And Shadow last time out, they started on the hards in the feature race, and it worked out for Ben. Shadow obviously was a bit under the weather last time, so we didn't see his full potential in the feature race, but it's whether they're going to follow that same strategy again. As I say, it worked out for Ben last time out in the dying moments, because it may look like they're dropping back. If they're on the hard tyres, they're not looking quick, but it really pays dividends later on because they they end up running the faster tyre at the end of the race with a lighter fuel load.
That's
So
it.
they end up being really, really quick, and then all of a sudden it all closes up at the end of the race. So
Well, that's it. I mean, but you could.
It.
I mean, we have seen them in the past where these quick guys, annoyingly, they're quick and good on tyre wear because they're on the wheel. So you could see the reverse of what Adam was saying there, where they could use the medium tyres to their advantage to make up the places to get into the midfield, get on the back of some of the midfield, save a bit of fuel, go a bit longer on the mediums, and then they've got fresh hard tyres right to the end. So you could see that coming into play. Now, I'm not sure what the tyre strategy, I know what the tyre wear is, but I'm not sure. It's quite a high wearing circuit, this. So I'm not quite sure.
Yeah, there's a lot of fast flowing circuits, there's a lot of heavy stops, a lot of traction zones. There's not many long straight. I mean, you've got those S-bends that are really quick, that obviously takes a lot out of the tyres. You've got that fast right-hander at the bottom of the hill, that can take a lot out of the tyres. So, and that first corner as well, you're really standing on the brakes. The left front is going to be the one that's going to have the heaviest wear. So, yeah, I don't know, I haven't seen obviously what your settings are, so it's going to be interesting whether it's going to be down to tyre wear or whether it's going to be down to fuel mileage. Because obviously they're not starting with a full tank, are they?
I'm edging towards I think this is possibly a 2-stop. If you do this on a 1-stop, then this is, yeah.
Well, it was on the cusp last time out, wasn't it? We weren't sure whether it was going to be a 1 or a 2, and that's one of the reasons why we gave Hado the driver of the day, because he made a 1-stop work and everybody else did a 2. So he might be one to watch as well. He's obviously good on the strategies.
Come on then, Adam. Give us the countdown.
Right. Okay, well, here we go then for round 2, the feature race here on the long circuit at LAGO Maggiore. We've got Tyler on pole. Here we go, 3, 2, 1. Let's get it going. Remember, it is a rolling start, 30 minutes, tyre wear, fuel usage, and chaos into the first corner, probably. Although it is a rolling start, so hopefully it will be a little bit clean, but I'm going to be keeping my eye on Danny because he's the quicker of those in the midfield at the moment. He's going to try and get as good a race start as he possibly can, make up as many places as he can. Interesting to see what tyres he's gone with. So Tyler leading them around.
I love this. The sunset's worked. The weather's worked. I've done this at sunset, so hopefully we get some good shots here. As you see, Tyler leading the field into the first corner, followed by followed by Hado. That's from last week. Can he emulate Matt Neal? Adam?
Can he? Yeah, can he? If he does do that, we will give him 250 grand. No, we won't.
What's your No, we didn't hear that, ladies and gentlemen.
We didn't hear that. Nobody's watching the stream, Jimmy. It's fine. We didn't hear that. So it is closing up at the front. So let's just kind of see how this unfolds.
Oh, as LFC Ben got it sideways coming out of T3 there.
We've got all the fast guys really closing up at the back of the shot there, but the independent Matt Neal is leading the way. He's got Will Hoy behind him, and Jamie Wall nearly hit the wall there because if he slid too much more, got a little bit sideways was Astral. And we've got Ekberg there looking for a manoeuvre, trying to make the most out of that little bit wide with Astral. This is going to give Ekberg a chance. Can he get the cut back, get the power on? Not really, no, he's just had to follow him through, but watch Hado on Tyler. Tyler was looking a little bit slow off the corner, and Hado got the slipstream. He's going to try round the outside. He's got no pressure really from behind, so he can take his time here, brake a bit early, try to get the cut back. Oh, watch down the inside, can he do it?
Oh, no, and Astral is making it.
They've both gone through. Have they? Yes, they have. Oh, that was brilliant opportunistic there from Astral. He watched all of that unfold.
He's pulling Ekberg along with him.
Yeah, I didn't think he was close enough to do that, but he read that absolutely brilliantly. Fantastic.
So we've seen
Ekberg finds himself in second.
So we've seen the top runners now. So Astral is on the mediums. So Ekberg is also on the mediums. So, and we've got Tyler, as I suspected, the top three. The independents are all on mediums, trying to make hay while the sun shines, trying to get as far as they can. But look at Danny C, right on the back of this already.
Well, Tyler's got a half-second penalty from track limits infringement. I didn't see where he got that, but that's obviously going to knock him down. But look at the pack behind, because that's getting, they're carrying on from race one, aren't they?
Interestingly, they're on the mediums. LFC Ben. Pint is on the hards. So Pint, I thought he might try a bold strategy. So Pint's in. I think Pint's hoping for the overcut here, but I'm not sure what Danny. Let's see what Danny's gone on. Also on the hards
as well.
Right,
that would
so keep
explain
an eye
why
out.
Danny's not really making up a lot, although it is closing up in front. Danny's going to try and get Danny inside of Ekberg, so Ekberg's dropped back a little bit. Astral runs a little bit wide. Oh, a little bit of contact. Well held by Mahado there. Fantastic. There was a bit of a touch, I think. Or was there? I'm not quite sure, but it held up Tyler, unfortunately, in that. I don't know whether there was contact or whether it was.
No, I think it was contact from the spin, but Shadow has got right on the back of Hado here. He's looking for a move.
Hado trying to give a bit of room.
But meanwhile,
himself a little bit there.
Astral has now pulled out a little bit of a gap, half a second gap. He's also got a penalty. So Danny inside. And Clayjax has really made up some places in all of that as well, because Clayjax is up into fourth now, troubling Ekberg. But he's still got company with LFC Ben. So Clayjax is also on the hards. Now look at the, interestingly, Handy Pint, LFC Ben. They're both on the. Sorry, Handy Pint is on the hards. Clayjax is on the hards, but they're managing to claw their way through here against these medium fast runners. Whoa! Look at this.
Little bit of.
I don't know where to look.
No, there's three abreast going into the last corner. Ekberg didn't know which way to look. LFC Ben slides it through, and watch out for Handy Pint, because he's managed to make up positions. And has he got past all of them, or he's alongside Clayjack going into the first corner? I don't know whether he's going to get this. He is on the hard tyres, the same as Clayjack's, and he's made it up. Can he hold it?
Has he made it stay? Clayjack's has gone round the outside.
What opportunistic there. Oh, close there with Ben as well.
This is great. Ekberg's having an absolute brilliant race here. He's right in the thick of it. But he loves this sort of close racing. As we see Andy Pike getting it all loose there, coming out of T3. Oof.
He just clipped that curb and it knocked him over into Ekberg. So hopefully Ekberg doesn't get a penalty for track limits there. He was knocked over. But Handy Pike down the inside of Ekberg into this right-hander. Get the power on early. You could use the curve of the corner to help slow the car into it.
You were commenting last week, weren't you, how evil the Handy Pint's car looks with the yellow covers, which was, they were on it in real life. So I've got it as accurate as I can. So Handy Pint's really clawing his way through the field. He's just outside the slipstream of LSC Ben, but this could all change. I'm just going to go quickly to the top. Incredibly, Astral, even with his half-second penalty, has managed to maintain the lead. And holding Danny C off, as we say that, Danny's having a look down the inside. He's thought better of it, but can he get the power there? Astral is really. It's one of me. I think this is a strong track for Astral, as we see Hado really taking to the gravel in the background there. But this is look at this, a frenetic battle with LFC Ben and Clayjax. As we see LFC Ben hit the wall. Now that will have left him vulnerable.
Well, he's got a little bit of damage on his left front corner, aero and suspension. That will wear off after about 30 seconds, but it's going to hinder him through these next couple of corners.
Handy Pint will have seen that. But Shadow is all over the back of LFC Ben here. Back of Handy Pint. Look at this for a battle. These pair have raced in countless CCR races. Clayjax is in.
Clayjax is in. That's an early stop for Clayjax. Still got. I'm wondering whether that must be a strategy call. He's obviously decided he wants to get out of the out of the toe of Danny. He must have felt like he was being held up.
Maybe he's going on to a two-stop. Maybe he's going on to a two-stop.
I reckon he's going on to mediums. He's going to fill up, and he's going to go hell for leather in this middle stint.
He's not gone.
He's not gone full. He's gone on to the mediums.
We saw what Clayjax did last week, so I'm not going to call Clayjax's strategy because whatever we say, Adam, he does the opposite, or he pulls something out the bag. I'm not quite sure what he's up to. But he's got a master plan. It won't have been by accident.
It will not have been by accident. That will be a calculated move, as we see LFC Ben has somehow made it up into second past Danny now. But Astral's still holding the lead here.
I think what Clayjax is banking on is the medium runners are going to be coming into the pits with the tyres. He's got enough fuel to do the overcut and potentially pull out a gap. I think that's what Clayjax is up to.
Well, he's on the faster tyre now, isn't he? And he's got clear track, he's got nobody around him, he can really settle down and concentrate and really make up some space, as these guys are still essentially holding each other up by being line astern here. But I'm really impressed with Astral here.
Flames coming out the back of these cars, it looks so impressive as Ben takes to the gravel. So that's going to lose him a bit of traction, which will give Danny a little bit of... he'll close the gap a little bit, but Astral holding off LFC Ben is... it's truly phenomenal.
He's just holding his racing line. He's not doing anything stupid. He's saying, well, you want to get past me, you find your own way round. And that's exactly what he's doing. He's given plenty of room there, but Ben now takes the lead. But brilliant driving there from Astral. Fantastic stuff.
Well, he's on the short list for driver of the day. I know it's only lap 4, but if he continues this driving, he's on the short list. But look at this, 4 really close battle for effectively for the lead.
But he's keeping pace with these guys as well. He's not dropping back, is he? They're not swarming all over him. Danny's going to get down the inside here. Astral's going to give him room. He's seen it coming.
Brilliant driving. Shadow is right on the back of this now. Is Astral on the...
Astral's on the mediums.
Astral's on the mediums. But Shadow is also on the mediums.
Shadow's on the mediums, yeah.
Now they'll be playing a game here to use each other's fuel. Now this is... look at this now.
Look at Astral really challenging Danny. He's not given up on this. He's saying, well, I might be an independent and I might not really be as quick as you guys, but I'm going to try my best. And he's getting some good airtime. He's getting more airtime than Jamie Wall ever did in real life.
But look at this. He's got the line. He's going to hold Shadow off into the next left-hander. Look at this.
Plenty of room.
Brilliant race. Shadow staying with it.
Still side by side.
This is incredible.
This is brilliant. Fantastic. A little bit of a touch. Shadow, you're not getting past me that easily, son. I'm gonna.
But it's proper touring car racing.
Proper touring car racing. And Shadow will be loving that as well. He'll be willing him on. He's saying,
that's right,
on, son. You push me out.
Shadow's always been like that. He's as competitive as the rest of them. But if he's involved in a great battle, doesn't matter who it's with, he'll love every minute of this. And Shadow's not holding back. Shadow is one of the quick guys, but he's not. He will never pull a dodgy move, shall we say?
Well, they're both on the same tyres as well, so this is a good showing from Astral because he's on the same pace.
I'm just going to focus. I'm just going to answer the
Shadow there. Maybe another lap or so, maybe another lap here for Ben. Looking at his tyre wear. Looking at his fuel.
Yeah, I think ignore the caption on the screen, ladies and gentlemen. It's not. It always does this in the feature when you've got tyres. He is coming in. So that's
Ben's in. That puts Danny C up into the lead.
So Danny's in a pretty good position at the moment. So Shadow is also in.
So we need to keep an eye on Clayjax, don't we, and see where.
So Handy Pipe we've missed. Handy Pipe is also pitted onto the mediums, and he's got he's got 3/4 of a tank. So I just want to see where Legion is going to come out in all this. Closely followed by Hado. So they're coming through the last complex now. So they've got 3 corners to go.
No, they're earlier on in the lap. They've already gone past, so he's still got. He's going to be coming in this lap.
So let's just great battle between these two.
let's just see where Clayjax is, because he obviously made that early stop, and we've now seen LFC Ben has now pitted as well. So it's going to be interesting to see where those two, because they've now both pitted. So Clayjax has cleared Ben. By how much? By 5 seconds. So that's his strategy. Go on to the faster tyre.
That's what I thought.
Now, it depends on what his fuel strategy is as to whether he's got enough to get... We've still got 17 minutes of this race to go, so...
I tell you who we haven't focused on much in this race, and I'm going to focus on the man now. Is Butler on the hards with a decent amount of fuel in a live 7th place.
So he's going to be on the faster tyre later on, isn't he? Because he's going to be pitting, going on to the mediums, probably put enough fuel in, so he'll probably pit just under halfway, I would have thought. So
do you reckon he can get his? Do you reckon he can get his helmet?
I don't know. Can you get the on board in while it's live, or is that just on the replays?
Ah, it's just on the replays.
That's a shame. Perhaps it glows in the dark.
But the eyes that he's put on top of the helmet is hilarious. It looks like a big grin. Yeah, yeah. You can just about see it. The visor's dark, and that's the mouth. We're going to see the eyes on the helmet.
Astral's in. Ekberg's in. Danny C's still out. That promotes Haydo up into 2nd, and Marty up into 3rd. Legion's in as well.
So Legion's in off the hards. So he's coming on fuel. So let's just see, will he change tyres? Or he is, okay. So let's just see how much fuel Legion puts in. But more importantly, I want to see where Marty is.
So Legion's gone 3/4 tank there, so he's going to be good to the end because he's got to nearly halfway, considering they started on 85%.
And we haven't seen the leaders, we haven't seen Danny C pit yet, or Haydo.
Danny C hasn't pitted. No, Danny's playing the long game here.
Haydo is due in.
To come in.
Interesting.
He's gone a long way into this race on the mediums as Haydo. That's a brilliant...
He's very good on tyre wear, is Haydo.
Yeah, that's a brilliant run from Haydo. He's definitely going to have to pit this lap.
So I want to see where Clayjax is going to... Oh, sorry, I just want to see... LFC Ben.
Clayjax is 5th. Ben is 6th at the moment.
Right, okay.
And they've both pitted.
Yeah, so Haydo's going to be coming into the pits now, I'd imagine.
I would have thought so. I think Danny C will probably... He's still got a few more corners to go yet before he gets round.
So Haydo will be in this lap.
Haydo will definitely be in this lap. I can see Danny C doing another lap.
4 seconds. See, Astral has now dropped down.
But it might play dividends later on. He's going to be on.
So what's the gap between Butler and Clayjax?
He's going to be on the hard tyres.
Not very much. So Clayjax
still got to pit.
Yeah, but Clayjax is on the softer tyres. You see a lovely move there from Clayjax, but Butler knows that's coming. Butler's in for the long game. It's interesting. Danny, the leader, is in. So, and Haydo is following by. So Marty won't be coming in this lap. So Marty will inherit the lead.
He's been looking after his fuel as Marty, because he's not burnt through it as much as everybody else, and he's still on the hard tyres. He's going to be swallowed up by Clayjax here, but it might come back to him later on in the race because he's going to be on the mediums with a full tank of fuel, and we're over halfway now. So
let's just see where Shadow is on track. Oh, he's having a right battle with Handy Pint. The Handy Pint's pitted. He just lost it a little bit there, but Handy Pint is very good on his tyres. So these three are all on the same lap. So we've got Shadow, Danny C and Handy Pint all on the same lap, very close. Now they should all be on the mediums. So let's just see what... Yeah, now Danny's got quite a full tank of fuel now.
He's going for the faster strategy because he's worked out how much fuel he needs to get to the end of this race. He knows the mediums are going to stretch, so he's going to be pushing this now to try and get a little bit of an undercut. If Clayjax needs to pit again, he's in a bit of trouble, but I can see Danny, I think Danny's got this to the end.
I think we've got about 8 laps, 9 laps most We've got 13 minutes left on the clock and a 1 minute 30 lap, so that's 8, 9, 8.5, 9. Yeah, I'm expecting 8, 9. Yeah, lap 17.
Be about 7 laps, won't it? Because we've got to lap 8.
Yep.
With 12 minutes to go, so the Shadow goes round the outside of
Danny C.
That's brave round there. Fantastic stuff there from Shadow. Shadow on the medium tyres, I would have thought so with a move like that. There's no way he can be doing that on the hard, surely.
So we've got Astral here, back onto the hards, having a real battle with Hado.
Well, he's good to the end, is Astral. He's got the tyres, he's got the fuel.
As we see, Marty is in from the lead. So let's just see where Clayjax is on track. Yeah, so Clayjax is going to the lead now. So
Ben's pitted behind him. So Ben's gone for another pit stop. Or was that his first pit stop? Ben hasn't been in yet, has he?
Yeah, Ben's been in.
Ben's been in. So Ben's doing a 2-stop. So he's going to go
back onto the mediums. Yeah, and I would have said
that he can
3/4 of a tank.
Yeah, possibly only half.
Let's see if we call this right. And Butler and Handy Pint have also come in for a second stop. So Butler's come in for his first. He's going. Yeah, we know what strategy Ben's going for.
Yeah, map 1, turn up all the dials, turn it up to 11.
And I'm going to expect Clayjax to be coming in on this lap. He's done really well on the mediums.
He'll go on to another set of mediums for sure.
So he's got a 9-second gap between himself and Shadow, who has pitted. So I'm expecting Clayjax to come out. Let's just see what the gap is to Danny C. I'd say he'd come out somewhere around 4th, 5th. Now Legion, I think he'd come out somewhere around Legion, Clayjax. So I'm assuming Clayjax is going to be coming in. We know what Clayjax is like on fuel. Will he make it to the pits, Adam?
He'll get it to the pits. If he wanted to, he could do another lap, I reckon, knowing Clayjax with his fuel. But he'll definitely be pitting, and he'll put in just enough fuel to get him to the end. That's gonna be Ben's undoing, because he went for a full tank, so he was obviously longer in the pits. Even though he's gone onto the mediums, so I can see Clayjax going straight back onto another set of mediums. He's already run the hards, so he'll go onto the faster tyre. He'll put just enough fuel in to get him to the end. There's only going to be 10 minutes left of this race to go by the time he gets round. He's
backed off a little bit. He's lost a second to Shadow, but Shadow is there pulling Danny C round. So these two are both on the medium tyres. Who's got the most fuel? See, Danny's got the most fuel.
And the better tyres as well.
So we see Clayjax come into the pits now for his stop. So these, I'm expecting Clayjax to exit the pits somewhere around Legion, between Legion and Hado. So let's just see how quickly his pit crew can get his tyre done. He's dropped further down than I thought he would.
Yeah, it resets itself, doesn't it? It estimates roughly before you actually come out of the pits.
So we've now got Shadow assuming the lead of this feature race here at LAGO Maggiore with a decent amount of fuel. But I think
Clayjax did actually come out in 7th place.
7th place.
Astral.
That's right.
So that did drop him down quite a bit, but he's going to be on the faster tyre and he's going to have the fuel to go to the end.
But we know Danny,
whether he can catch these guys.
But we know Danny's got more fuel, but Shadow is not going to make it to the end on these tyres. Now, I'm wondering...
Danny's tyres were in better condition. He's
Danny's
good to the end, is Danny.
Danny's good to the end.
He knows he doesn't have to rush this either. He can see Shadow moving around. He can see Shadow's pace. And Legion's hovering around in the background there as Legion got to pit again.
Yes, for fuel.
Yes, possibly for fuel, unless he's dialed it back, playing the long game.
I don't think he'll change his tyres. I think he'll just fuel. But we've got 12 watching this epic feature race here at LAGO Maggiore. Thank you ever so much for tuning in. Hope you're enjoying what you're witnessing here. I just want to see the gap.
Danny C is absolutely pushing Shadow, trying to make him use up all of his fuel and all of his tyres. Shadow's gone defensive, but it's a little bit pointless really, Shadow, because you're going to have to pit again, and Danny doesn't have to, but...
Well, 5 laps... It's about 6 laps remaining. Let's just see... No, he's definitely got to pit for tyres. And he's picked his
penalty to add to his troubles.
I'm just going to quickly...
Is he going to pit this lap? Let's just keep an eye. Yep, Shadow's in, so Danny's taken the lead. Legion's taken over 3rd place, and that man Hido, Mr. Feature Race, is going to jump up into 4th, but he has got Marty all over the back of him, so Marty's going to be looking.
But I just want to see what's... So we got Hido good to the end, and Marty's good to the end. Astral's good to the end. So I'm expecting a good finish from Astral here. He's got a 2.6 second gap to Clayjax. Now, what's the gap to Butler? 17 seconds. I can see a top 6 finish here for Astral.
That's obviously that's the 17 seconds back from the leader, of course.
From the leader,
which is still good going, and he's got Clayjax all over the back of him, but he's still going to get a good result, and he's obviously the lead independent as well.
That's
going to be his main. That's going to be his main focus, is trying to take this independent win. Clayjax looking round the outside, try and get the cut back. No, he's going to continue round the outside. That's going to put him on the left-hand side, on the inside now for this next corner. Astral will give him room, does so. So that Clayjax is now up into 5th.
That's some brilliant racing tonight from Astral, I must say.
I've been really impressed with Astral. He didn't buckle under the pressure when he was leading the race. He was fighting with Danny C, with Clayjax, with Shadow, and he wasn't giving them any room. Clayjax feels the need to go defensive against Astral going into this corner. Watch out for Butler. Butler's looking down the inside.
Exactly.
He's going to try and follow Clayjax through. Oh, bit of a bump. No, he backed out of that. Gave Astral some space.
But look at it. I mean, this guy. I mean, this is what we're saying. They're not slow. They're not slow guys. They're all quick in their own right. But this is a display I've seen tonight that is, I keep saying it, has impressed me. As we see Butler there, and Astral giving him plenty of room. Butler's made the move, but LFC Ben has also followed Butler through. As we see Legion has come into the pits. This is for his fuel stop now. Will he change to another set of mediums? Has he got the time on the clock?
Minutes. I think he'll change tyres and just do a splash and dash just to
put some fresh rubber on and just put a little drop of fuel in, I think.
Well, he put more fuel in than I thought he was going to, but he's now good to the end. That has dropped him all the way down into 8th now, unfortunately.
He's on full charge, but the gap between himself and Astral is 5 seconds now. How far can Legion pull himself back? But I just want to see LFC Ben. Now he's good to the end. Now he's right on the back of Butler here. There's only half a tenth now. Is this going to be a potential move?
A little bit far back there, but he's teeing him up for the exit.
Look at this now.
This is through these S's. He'll be lining him up, try and get a good run through these S's as smooth and as clean as he can. Butler's quite good through these S's, but gave a little bit of space on the inside, did Carl. That gave him a better line through these next couple of corners. Ben's now in the slipstream, so he's going to try and catch the toe down this straight. And of course it goes downhill as well, which is going to help him. So Carl's going to be watching the mirror. Is he going to feel the need to defend? Yes, he's going to the inside. Is Ben going to go to the outside and try to cut back?
He knows what's coming.
Or is he going to back off? No, he's going to try it wide line, try and get a tight line out. Carries the speed. Look how much closer he's caught up with Carl. Carl's going to go defensive. Ben tries rounding outside. Is he going to get alongside? Not this time. Switch back and then try and get a tight exit out of this next one.
Look
to get down
at
the inside. No, he just hasn't got the run, has he?
He's trying it. He's trying it.
He is trying it. Carl's seen him coming, gives him plenty of room.
What brilliant
then
racing.
It's up into 5th. See it all the way through. That
Astral
move started all the way back at those S's.
That's half a lap, side by side, or nose to tail. Astral is only a second back from these guys, by the way. Which is absolutely incredible.
Oh, really wide there from Ben.
That'll have
give him
given
a penalty?
Butler advantage. Let's just go back and see what Butler sees. He's going for the inside. Can he widen the corner here? Can he go for the cutback?
Ben was really confident on his braking marker there. You could
especially
see
with dirty tyres as well.
Yeah, Carl was a little bit tentative on the inside, but Ben knew exactly how to do it. And as you say, with dirty tyres, down into that first corner, that was a very brave defence.
Have you seen who's in second place?
I know, Hado. I was just watching that. He really is Mr. Feature Race. He knows exactly what to do on his strategies, doesn't he?
He's really proving to be a force to be reckoned with. But he's got there's a 9-second gap to Danny C, who's basically, if he can get these tyres to the end now, we've got 2 minutes left, so that's 2 laps left. So Danny is comfortably.
He's just got to watch his fuel, but he hasn't got any trouble from behind, has he? So he's just going to be winding it back, and he'll be coasting this to the end, unless there's a mistake. But Hado,
is a battle to watch.
Marty for company. But this is the battle for the last 2 places on the podium, and Clayjax is in the background there, looking for. What can he do? He's only going to have 1 lap left. If these two start fighting too much, that's really going to bring Clayjax into it for a fight on the podium.
What a race this has been, Adam. Absolutely incredible.
Well, it's all the different strategies, isn't it?
Stop press. I'm going to read a comment out here that you're just going to. I know what your reaction's going to be. Hado in the chat, I hate this track.
He's going to like it after this race, isn't he? If he can hold on to second, or if he can even hold on to a podium position, because he's in a good fight here. They're good to the end. Marcy's using his tyres a little bit and is a little bit tight on fuel, but he's going to be good to the end. He's looking round the outside, putting Hado a bit under pressure. Trying round the outside. Hado's going to give him room,
but he's managed to hold the line. Oh, he's tucking right back in. Is he going to go for another move into T1?
But watch out for that man Clayjax. He's bearing down on them, and Ben isn't too far behind either, bringing Butler with him.
Get these discs glowing, all these heavy braking points. So that's given. So as Marty got some dirty tyres there as he runs wide, that'll give Hado the advantage here through this fast.
Oh, Clayjax ran wide in the background. He's pushing hard to try and get on the back of these two because he can see them fighting. They're slowing each other up, and that's just bringing Clayjax into it. But
now
Hado's
can
side by side.
Clayjax snatch a podium position
in
the dying moments?
Guys now.
I'm just going to go down to Clayjax, but he's got to be careful because.
Oh, he's got a half-second penalty as well. So where's the penalty zone on this circuit? Have we passed it yet? I don't think we have.
Top of the hill.
Top of the hill. So he's going to drop off the back of these guys. That's going to annoy him. That might
give Hado his podium, but Ben is going to catch up to Clayjax. I'm not sure how much Clayjax is going to lose on this. He's going to lose a second.
Yeah, but Ben's over.
But this is the penalty line here, I think, coming up to the top of the hill.
Yep. So and it's on a long straight as well. So he's going to hemorrhage time against those guys. As it slows down, gets back up to speed again.
But that's brought
downhill.
Ben's still 3 seconds behind, so that's giving him. He's not in the slipstream anymore, so that has secured a. I would have said
Clayjax is going to have to be absolutely mighty, but these two
I'm just going to focus on Danny C at the moment. I'm just going to quickly focus on Danny C, who's returning the Season 3 champion, returning after missing the first round, coming here, said he was going to come out all guns blazing. Well, he's done what he said he was going to do as he exits the final corner, coming round on the final lap to take his first victory here at Jimmy Codger's British Touring Car Championship. What a drive, Danny C. But Marty has snatched second place from Hado in the dying moments as Clayjax goes wide. So Hado has found himself on the podium. Marty's happy with himself there. Big flash of the lights. What a result for Marty, and especially for Hado in third place. Wow, what a race, guys. And look at the fuel. I just want to see Clayjax's fuel.
Absolutely nothing on it.
He's got an egg cup left. He's got an egg cup full left. So
that's more than he had at Brands Hatch.
Well, yes, we found out after the race he actually run out going across the line. So he timed that to perfection. Get in there, Danny, says Danny C.
Yeah, what a result there from Marty. He played that strategy really well. As we said, it's all gonna come out at the end of the race with the way that the strategies work.
Let me just do this first. Save the replay, and I'll get onto the results.
So Danny C.
We haven't
takes
done.
the win.
I tell you what, I haven't done. I didn't do interviews, and I just realised. I'm going to try.
Okay.
You've done a read through.
You to try and.
You do the results.
I'll read through this. You try and get somebody in the comms box if they're not already in the bar. So Danny C. he didn't have the best of sprint races, but made the most of it with the strategy, and that one played it to absolute perfection. Won it by 11 seconds. The defending champion. That's exactly what he needed to do. A great result there for Marty and the John Cleland Vectra in second. Haydo once again showing his class, and when it comes down to strategies, once again in a feature race doing a great result in third. Clayjack's in fourth, very, very nearly got on the podium, but a couple of mistakes towards the end there made pay to that. Ben, strategy didn't quite work out for him this time, but finished in fifth. Legion in sixth. Butler in seventh. Astral, eighth overall, lead independent. That is a fantastic result there for Astral. He had such a great race. Clayjack's got the fastest lap, by the way, with a 2 minutes 7. And Handy Pint in ninth. Shadow down in 10th, so something must have happened with Shadow. We didn't see it, but that's not the best of results there for Shadow in that one. Ekberg in 11th, and then Tyler bringing up the rear in 12th place.
See, Shadow was enjoying that till my wheel misclicked the wrong tyres. Oh no, with the analog stick. Oh, so he's chose the wrong tyres, so maybe he was a bit slower. But I'll just get a screenshot of that, just make sure. I've got the other one, Adam, so I'll send those over to you, matey. We've managed to get some of the drivers in the chat. I bet they're all worn out, but they're ready for a drink. So who have we got in the chat? I'm sure I saw Danny C pop in.
You got Legion in here, and you got Haydo.
Oh, well, I tell you what. Let's go to the race winner. We'll do Haydo first. Sorry, we'll do Danny C first. Danny C, how was that for you, mate?
Good to be back. Enjoyed myself, which is the main thing. And firstly, thanks for running the championship, James, as always, along with Adam for the comms, and well done to those who took part, and GG's to those who finished in the top three. So obviously, I said to myself that I just needed to, having missed the first meeting, then I just thought, just go out there and just do the best you can, regardless, and I enjoyed myself.
Good. That's the main thing. That's all I ask for here, is that everybody enjoys themselves. I'm just wondering if we can get.
Danny, we did see an incident on the stream. Well, it looked like an incident between yourself and Butler in the sprint race. Initially on the stream, it didn't look like there was contact, but you slowed down and let him back pass. So obviously you felt like you tagged him and spun him out. What was that from your point of view?
So from my point of view, and obviously when I was in the battle along with a few other drivers, for the race win, and when Butler was just going a bit sideways out of the corner, then it was just the little time to react to it, to avoid about that slide. Well, I had the driver out of the first hairpin, and I felt like there was a bit of a contact from my perspective, and then which sent Butler Nerval sideways and off the racing line, which I felt bad for him, as I just want to rather just be a good sport than just be selfish to carry on. And then so we've sorted it on the chat, and so there's no stress. I mean, it's no big deal, because I've had to get the place back rightly so.
Well, that was
we saw that. That was brilliant racing respect. Jimmy said it on the comms. That's exactly what we want to see. Like I said, from our perspective, it didn't look like there was contact, but you did the right thing anyway. If there was, we know it wasn't malicious, but still a great result anyway in the feature race for you.
But yeah, well done again, Danny. So we'll move on to the driver of the day from round one, Haydo. The man who hates that track.
Yeah, the first race was very difficult. To be honest, I spun and crashed, and I was suddenly last place. Gained one place back, but when I started in the front row, I was like, I was in the mid pack. I should be starting like in the middle and not in the front. But anyway, it was a difficult race. Early shifted very much, so had low RPM, safe fuel. Safe
Don't give all your
tires,
secrets
so-
away. 'Cause we're calling you Mr. Feature at the moment because you've seen. Don't give all your secrets away because I tell you what, you impressed both me and Adam last
Well,
week and
I
this
know
week.
how I can save the fuel, but I don't know how I save the tires. But yeah, then I went on to hards, and last couple of days I've been driving Assetto Corsa Evo on my PC, and I have learned like how to deal with neutral steering and with hard tires. So when I was on the hards, it was like, oh, I know this feeling, like the sliding, and I think that helped with my pace.
Well,
And
Well,
it
there's
was
the,
kinda
there's the
surprising.
secret, Jimmy. There's the secret. Run on a different game and practice.
yeah, it doesn't stand to reason, does it? But it's Hado's obviously proved the theory wrong. But another good result for you, Hado. You've got
Yeah.
a full-time seat now in for Team BMW, so
Yeah.
some great points there. Thanks ever so much. You were far. I said this to Adam. You missed it straight. We got in. He said you're available for the races, and I thought, do you know what? Who deserves a full-time seat more than anyone? And Hado, you stepped up to the plate, and you've done us proud, mate. I just hope, as long as you're enjoying it and just keep doing what you're doing, and yeah, it's really going to spice the tables up. So, I think you'll have put a cat amongst the pigeons, so to speak, in the top guys, because you're really holding your own there.
Yeah, one more time, thank you for the seat as well. And I also want to congratulate Danny C for the first place. He also drove very
good man.
amazing. And
Thank you.
LFC Ben as well in the first race. Nice battles. I had the stream open, so I was also watching and commentating.
See, they do it, Adam.
Yeah, so I was driving on the straights and I'm looking on my tablet. I'm like, oh, that's a nice fight.
Yeah. Well, the F1 drivers do it on the big TV screens, don't they? So, well, thanks again, Hado, and I will move quickly on to Legion. So, a bit of a... You did say from the beginning that you didn't like this track. Well, Hado did as well, but we all knew what happened there. So, how did you find that overall, Legion? Or Martin?
Where do I begin? For me, it's just I'm not so good at the fictional tracks. Like I don't really pay attention to them. Like I prefer the real life tracks. So this one here for me was always going to be a bit of a nightmare. But considering I was expecting to finish like dead last because I was well off the pace, somehow during the races I managed to find a bit of pace and I almost got fastest lap on the final lap there. So I mean, the pace was there. I probably should have practiced a bit, but I'm pretty happy with my result. I mean, I've got a bit of a leeway. I had a decent finish in the sprint. Obviously, that'll have to do for now, and we'll just have to move forward going from here. So, yeah. Bit of a disappointment.
Yeah, but you've always had that spirit, Martin. You never give up, and sometimes these things come to bite you where you think you're doing the right strategy, and then we saw Clayjacks come in with just under half a tank of fuel and half-worn tyres, and we thought, what's he up to here? But after last week, we're not gonna guess what Clayjacks is doing. So, yeah, it seemed to work for him, and he did what I thought he was doing, was just basically trying to get enough fuel to cover the pit stops from the medium guys, and it seemed to work out in the end. But I tell you what, you keep raising the bar, you guys, every week, and it's only the second week. We're going to be flat out by the end, Adam, aren't we?
Oh, definitely, yeah. And it was the range of strategies that we saw through that race. I mean, that's what's brought Hado into third place in that race, because of his strategy. Marty suddenly snuck in out of nowhere and finished second.
Yeah.
And the guys that you, if you like, half expect to be up the front, kind of, in a way, struggled a little bit around here, didn't they? So it's really, really helping for the championship. And yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what the next track is and how they all attack that one.
Yeah.
Well,
if I may, that's going back to what I said before. Like, from race 1, you cannot count anybody out. Like,
Definitely
there's
not.
so many different things going on, so many different like class of drivers that there's just it's not predictable. Like, people I thought, for instance, Astral, for instance, who would, if everyone else was doing alright, would normally be towards the back due to a mistake or two or an incident. Even he was in the top 10, and yeah, so I mean, everyone's pulling out way more than you would expect. So it's.
well, I'm
really
glad
well.
I'm glad you mentioned that, because I actually said it in the comms. Astral started on pole from the reverse grid, and he was holding his own against some of the quickest guys I have ever seen on this game. And what a performance! He finished 8th overall, but I'm sure it was 8th, wasn't it, Adam? I think it was 8th.
I can't remember. I think it was 8th.
Yeah. But to hold, he wasn't holding anybody up, and that's what I got comments from last season. It's not for the slower guys; they're all quick in their own right. But he was mixing it with the likes of LFC Ben, yourself. He was mixing it with Butler. He was mixing it with Clayjacks, and the respect shown. And there was some great racing. There was side-by-side action for half a lap, and yeah, there's a couple of standout drivers tonight, but there's no one person, but I would say, yeah, watch this space for driver of the day. But it's
100%.
we were treated to some fantastic racing again. I'm just conscious of time for you, Adam. Are you okay?
Yeah, no, I will be dusting off in a minute because I had another manic Friday. But,
yeah, that's cool.
Not helped by manic racing, but it was enjoyable. It was getting to the point where I just wanted to sit back and watch it rather than commentate on it. But yeah, as I said after the last round, if that's anything to go by for the rest of the season, we are going to be absolutely knackered by the end of it.
Yeah, I could echo that. I could echo that sentiment.
I mean, for me, I'll be honest. I'd already had a beer before I even started because it was just so intense. I was just like, you know what, I need to calm down. So I've already had a couple of beers, so I'm right there with you, Adam.
We're not advocating drink driving, by the way, ladies and gentlemen.
That's probably what messed me up in the first place.
So right, on that note, I'm going to wrap the stream up. Wow.
Thanks for having him. Thanks for having me.
No, thanks for having you guys. It wouldn't take part. I mean, yeah, I can put it all together, but without you guys on track, it wouldn't be a series. So, yeah, my thanks goes out to each and every one of you who've taken part.
My pleasure.
Can I just say congratulations to the front guys, because I realise I haven't said it yet. So congratulations, guys, and
no, that's what we like to
as always.
Appreciate it.
That's what we like to hear. That's what we're all about here. Respectful racing, close, clean. There's going to be rubbing. That's touring cars. But
bring on the next one.
Exactly. I will be releasing the track probably Sunday / Monday. All I'll say is bring your umbrellas.
Watch out, everybody. He's waving his weather stick around again.
It's making an appearance. I was inspired by Alton Park. So, yeah, you've been warned. But I'll be releasing the track on Monday. So on that note, it's time for... Oh, speaking of thanks, I can't thank Adam enough. I could not have done... I can't do this without him. He'll probably tell me shut up, but...
Shut up.
Now, thanks goes out to Adam as always for all the support in the background, testing and advice, this, that and the other. So it's a team effort. So on that note, it's time to wrap up the stream for this evening. After round 2 at LAGO MAGGIORE, the points table will be released probably Monday, Tuesday, maybe before, if Adam decides he's bored and he's got nothing better to do.
I'll get the points over to you tomorrow, don't you worry.
Okay, well, they'll be released as soon as I get the points. as soon as I get the points over to Adam and as soon as I get the tables, I will put those out tomorrow. I'm sure you're all dying to know where you are in the table. It'll have really mixed it up. But
Make my maths interesting, that's for sure.
Right, well, on that note, ladies and gentlemen, thanks to every single one of you tuned in to watch this. We were treated to yet another fantastic night's racing. And tune in again next week on the Friday the 4th of July, live at 7:15. Lobby opens at 7:30. And tune in for what promises to be, well, I say this every week, it's going to be another cracker. And to add some spice into the mix, we're going to have a little bit of the damp stuff. So they've been warned. So if you thought this was exciting in the dry, wait till next week. So on that note, ladies and gentlemen, it's time for Jimmy Codger to sign off for this week, and look forward to seeing you all live next Friday, 7:15 p.m. Check out for any updates on. There'll be plenty of photos put up on at Jimmy_Codger Racing on Instagram. So yeah, there'll be plenty of shots that'll keep me busy. I'm going to sign off for the evening. So once again, thank you to everyone that tuned in and watched this, and hope to see you all trackside next week. So for now, it's time for me to say good night. So I'm going to sign off and catch you all next week. Have a great week and see you on Friday.